Two pools, same neighborhood, same size, same shape. One looks like a resort. The other looks like a rental that hasn't been touched in 6 years. The difference isn't the pool, it's not the price tag either. It's 10 decisions, and most of them cost less than a trip to the grocery store. We're going from 10 down to 1. The further we go, the bigger the impact. Let's get into it. Number 10. Underwater LED lighting. Conversion. Most pool owners never touch their pool light. The bulb works, so why bother? Here's why. That single white bulb that came with your pool is making your water look flat. It makes a clean pool look gray at night instead of blue. You could have perfect water chemistry, and it still looks dull, because the light hitting it is wrong. This is one of the easiest fixes on this list. Most in-ground pools built in the last 25 years have a standard light niche. It's the housing built into the pool wall. And in almost every case, you can unscrew the old bulb and drop in a color-changing LED. No electrician, no permits, no cutting into anything. Brands like Hayward and Pentair both make retrofit LED bulbs that screw right into the existing fixture. You're looking at $40 to $80. The difference at night is not subtle. The water goes from flat and gray to vivid and deep. Color-changing versions come with a remote. You can switch between white, blue, purple, whatever fits the mood. I had a client who had spent 2 summers thinking her pool just didn't look right. She'd bought new furniture, repainted the fence, added plants. Still felt off. We switched the bulb. That was it. One bulb. The whole pool looked different that night. The light is the starting point, but the next upgrade works in broad daylight, and it's something most people can do themselves this weekend. Number 9. Waterline. Tile refresh. When someone walks through your gate, their eyes go straight to the waterline. That strip of tile right at the water's edge. It's the first thing people see before they even look at the pool itself. And in most pools, even clean ones, that tile is a mess. Calcium scale, algae stains, grout that's gone from white to gray to brown. Most homeowners see that and think, I need to retile. Retiling costs thousands. But here's what nobody tells you. In most cases, you don't need new tile. You need $20 in 2 hours. Start with a pumice stone and a calcium stain remover. Orenda and BioGuard both make good ones. That handles the white crusty buildup. Once that's gone, run a grout pen in bright white along the grout lines. The tile looks brand new. The water looks cleaner. The whole pool looks better. If the tile color itself is outdated, and a lot of older pools have that 1990s blue or hunter green tile, there are pool-rated tile film overlays now. They're designed to handle constant water exposure. They hold up. It's not a permanent fix, but it buys you years before you ever need to spend real money on retiling. Grout pen and stain remover, $20. Do it. The next one is bigger, and it changes how the whole space reads, not just the tile. Number 8. Pool deck. Refresh with concrete stain. Here's something most people don't think about. The deck is half the pool. You can have the cleanest water in the world, but if the deck around it is cracked, stained, and faded, the whole thing looks bad. The deck sets the tone for everything else. Most homeowners think their only options are live with it or pay a contractor to resurface it. Resurfacing runs anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 depending on size. There's a third option, concrete acid stain, and it works. Acid stain soaks into the surface of the concrete. It doesn't sit on top, which means it can't peel, it can't chip. It gives old concrete a deep, stone-like color that looks genuinely expensive. A 200 square foot pool deck costs under $100 in materials to stain yourself. Chemico and Direct Colors both make DIY-friendly kits that walk you through the whole process. You clean the deck, apply the stain, neutralize it, seal it. A weekend project. The result looks like you spent a lot more than you did. If the deck has some cracks or rough spots, a micro-topping overlay from a company like Ardex smooths everything out before you stain. Still way cheaper than a full resurface. The deck is done. Now let's go vertical. Number 7. Strategic poolside planting. Resort pools don't look like resort pools because of the pool. They look that way because of what's around it. Layered plants. Something tall, something tropical or structural. Greenery that makes the space feel intentional. You can get that same feeling for $60 at a good nursery. You just have to pick the right plants. The mistake most people make is buying based on looks alone. They pick something that looks good in the pot, then it drops leaves into the pool constantly. The skimmer basket fills up every 2 days. The plant that was supposed to look great becomes a problem. Plants near a pool need to do 3 things: look good, stay low maintenance, and not shed into the water. For structure and a tropical look without the mess, dwarf bird of paradise, phormium, also called New Zealand flax, or agave. These are clean plants. They don't drop much. They hold their shape year-round and they look expensive. For privacy screening on the sides, columnar arborvitae or Italian cypress. They grow tall and narrow. They don't spread. They don't drop. Here's the detail that most people miss. Put them in matching containers, black or white. Same size, same shape. It doesn't matter what's in the pot. Matching containers signal intention. They make even a basic plant look like a design decision. Same idea, different application. That's what number 6 is about. Number 6. Floating pool lights and solar accent lights. The light inside the pool is covered. Now let's talk about what happens around the pool at night. One overhead source does not work. It flattens everything. It removes the depth and shadow that makes a space feel warm. You can spend a fortune on furniture and plants, and bad outdoor lighting makes all of it look cheap after dark. 2 cheap fixes solve this completely. First, floating LED orbs on the water. They're rechargeable, waterproof, and color changing. Brands like Empow and Lightmate both make solid ones. You drop them in the pool at night, and they add movement and color that no fixed light can replicate. They look great. They cost $15 to $30. Guests always ask where you got them. Second, solar stake lights along the deck edge or through the plants. They cost nothing to run. They come on automatically. They define the edge of the space in a way that makes everything feel considered and finished. One rule: keep the color temperature consistent. Warm white only, around 2700 Kelvin. If you mix warm and cool light sources in the same space, something always feels off and you can't figure out why. Warm throughout. That's it. Speaking of details that make or break the whole look, number 5 is one most people don't even think about. Number 5, coping edge. Refresh. The coping is the cap that runs along the top edge of the pool. It's the part you grab when you're treading water, the part guests look directly at when they sit on the edge. In a lot of pools, especially older ones, the coping is stained. It's got calcium buildup on it, or it's just a dated color that makes the whole pool look old. Most homeowners don't know you can stain or paint masonry coping, and not just any paint, pool-rated masonry stain that soaks into the surface so it doesn't peel in a wet environment. The whole job on an average pool costs under $100 in materials and takes a weekend. Quikrete concrete stain and bare masonry stain are both widely available and hold up when sealed correctly. You have 2 good options with color. Match the deck for a seamless monochrome look, or go contrasting. White coping on a gray deck reads as modern and clean and looks like a custom design choice. Prep is everything here. Clean it thoroughly. Etch the surface with an etching solution so the stain grabs. Let it dry completely. Then stain and seal. That's the edge. The next upgrade deals with the inside, and it's the one that surprises people the most when I tell them how simple it is. Number 4, stain treatment. Instead of replastering, here's one that saves people serious money. A pool starts looking gray or brown on the interior, and the first call most homeowners make is to a replastering contractor. Replastering runs between $5,000 and $15,000, and a lot of the time, most of the time, it's not needed. What looks like failing plaster is usually a stain, metal stains, organic stains, calcium buildup on the surface. These are chemistry problems, not structural ones, and they have cheap solutions. Here's a quick test. Take a vitamin C tablet, the kind you'd find at any drugstore, and rub it directly on the stain. If the stain lightens within 30 seconds, it's a metal stain. That's treated with an ascorbic acid kit from a company like Natural Chemistry or Orenda, around $30. If the stain doesn't lighten, it's either organic or calcium. For organic stains, the ghosting that algae leaves behind, enzyme-based products like Pool Perfect by Natural Chemistry break down the organic matter. For calcium on the plaster surface, a pumice stone and a calcium remover used during a partial drain handles it. 3 different stains, 3 different solutions. None of them cost more than $60. Call a replastering contractor after you've tried these, not before. Now, here's one people are always surprised made the list. Number 3. DIY deck jets or adjusted return fittings. Moving water changes how a pool feels. You walk up to a pool with water arching into it or bubbling up in the shallow end, and it reads as custom. It reads as expensive. It looks like something you'd see at a hotel. Most people think that's a feature you have to build in from the start. It's not. Deck jet kits are a retrofit product. They tap into the existing return lines already running through your pool deck. No new plumbing, no trenching, no construction crew. Hayward and Pentair both make kits that a homeowner comfortable with basic plumbing can install in half a day. You're looking at $80 to $200 for a pair of jets. Here's the free version. Look at your existing return fittings, the eyeball-shaped fittings in your pool wall where water comes back in. Most people have them pointed straight into the wall. Rotate them. Angle them toward the surface. That creates a visible stream of moving water across the top of the pool. It adds motion and life to water that was sitting still. That adjustment costs nothing and takes 2 minutes. Small detail, big visual difference. Number 2 has the highest impact to cost ratio of anything on this list, except for number 1, and it has nothing to do with the pool itself. Number 2, unified poolside furniture and a consistent color story. This is the one homeowners push back on. They say the pool area looks fine. Then I ask one question. Does the furniture match? Not, is it nice furniture? Does it match? Is there a consistent color running through the cushions, the umbrella, the side tables? Or did everything end up out there over the years? Different chairs, different colors, different styles that have nothing to do with each other? In almost every case, it's the second one. And that mismatch does more damage to the look of a pool than almost anything else. The brain reads visual consistency as quality. A pool surrounded by 4 different chair styles and 3 different cushion colors looks neglected, even if every individual piece is fine. A pool surrounded by simple, cheap furniture that all matches looks designed. That's the whole trick. Here's how to fix it without buying new furniture. Replace the cushion covers. Outdoor cushion covers run $15 to $30 each. Pick 2 colors max, 1 neutral, 1 accent. White and navy, stone and terracotta, charcoal and sage. That's it. Recover every cushion in those 2 colors. Add 1 umbrella that matches. Buy 2 identical planters for the corners. Repetition of even inexpensive things reads as intention. The cushion covers alone will change how the entire space looks and feels. Do that before you buy a single new piece of furniture. Now. Number 1. Water chemistry and enzyme treatment for crystal clear water. This is the upgrade I teased at the start. The one that costs under $30 and gets more compliments than anything else a homeowner can do. It's not a light. It's not a feature. It's the water itself. Crystal clear water, the kind where you can see every tile on the floor of the deep end, is the single most powerful signal that a pool is well kept and high-end. Nothing else comes close. You could have dated coping, basic furniture, and no water features. If the water looks like glass, the pool looks expensive, and most homeowners are one treatment away from having it. Here's the problem. When water goes cloudy or dull, most people reach for shock. Sometimes that's right. But the most common cause of flat, hazy pool water isn't bacteria. It's phosphates and organic compounds. Sunscreen, body oils, dead organic matter. Chlorine doesn't break these down. It just reacts with them and creates more problems. Your water stays cloudy no matter how much shock you add. Enzyme-based products break those compounds down at the molecular level. Pool Perfect by Natural Chemistry is the easy one to find. Orenda's PR10000 is what a lot of pool professionals use. One treatment results in 48 hours. The water clears up in a way that shock alone will never achieve. Here's the full protocol. Step 1. Test and balance your water. Get the pH between 7.4 and 7.6. Get alkalinity between 80 and 120. Nothing else works if these are off. Step 2. Add a phosphate remover. Orenda PR10000 handles this. Step 3. Add an enzyme treatment. Pool Perfect is the straightforward choice. Step 4. Run your filter for 24 hours straight. Step 5. Clean the filter cartridge or backwash the sand filter after 48 hours. That's where all the junk ends up. The result, if your water wasn't already badly green or far out of balance, is water that looks lit from underneath. Guests will ask what you did. They'll ask if you just had the pool resurfaced or if you installed a new filter. The answer is a $30 bottle and a weekend. And here's the part people forget. Bad water chemistry doesn't just look bad. It chews through equipment faster. It bleaches swimwear. It causes eye and skin irritation. Every swim in cloudy water is costing you money somewhere. This protocol fixes all of that at the same time. Look, if your pool isn't where you want it to be right now, don't stress. Everything on this list is fixable. Most of it is a Saturday afternoon. Some of it is a $20 trip to the hardware store. Your pool is supposed to be the best part of your backyard. It's supposed to be the place you actually want to be. These upgrades exist because the gap between a pool that looks like a resort and a pool that doesn't is almost never about money. It's about knowing where to focus. Which one of these surprised you the most? Have you already done any of them? Drop it in the comments. I read all of them and I genuinely want to know what you're working with. If this helped, hit subscribe. There's a lot more coming. Pool maintenance, outdoor living, what's actually worth spending money on, and what isn't. I'll see you in the next one.